Hello everyone! It's been such a long time since I've uploaded, but I just want to show you guys my recent build, which is an aquarium rack that I built with simple but sturdy joints that can support 16 10-gallon aquariums. Enjoy! I want the width of the rack to be 36 inches. Since I will use a lap joint with a 1 and 1/2 inch thick 2x4, which would end up inlaying the pieces by 3/4 of an inch, I decided to cut out pieces of 2x4 measuring 37 and 3/4 of an inch, so that I will still have a 1/4 inch of allowance. By the way, here's a cut sheet just in case you want to build it yourself. Right here, I am cutting out the 17-inch 2x4s, and now I will simply screw the ends of the pieces together. This joint in woodworking is called a butt joint and is typically known to be the weakest joint, but in this case, we'll make it work. I'll now measure, mark, and cut my 21-inch pieces of 2x2 lumber. Funny enough, lumber is always undersized and 2x4s might actually be 1.5 by 3.5, and like the 2x2s might be 1.5 by 1.5, and that is exactly why I am making grooves that are 1.5 by 1.5 inch square so that the 2x2 lumber will nestle perfectly in it. After sawing through the marks, I'm just going to use my chisel to pop out pieces of the wood and then attach my 2x2 pieces. After this step, well, I just have to repeat the whole thing 4 more times. After repeating it 4 more times, now I'm going to work on the uprights. Here, during the measuring, I want the first level of the rack to be 5 inches. And since the 2x4s are 3.5 inches wide, I'm going to start the first groove at 2.5 inches. And the next grooves will start 20 inches above the previous ones. To cut out my grooves, I'll first use my saw to carefully cut the ends of the groove. Then I'll chisel out the actual groove and then use my homemade router plane to flatten it. After cutting out the 4 grooves and repeating that 4 more times, here comes the fun part, which is assembly. I basically just screw all of them using wood screws, and then yeah, one of the hardest parts is propping this up because it was heavier than I expected. Here, I won't go into much detail, but I just took some 1/4 inch plywood and cut 4 pieces of it to be like the actual shelf. I'm just gonna nail it in place and that should be good enough. After some boring sanding, I proceeded to just hit it up with some stain because I wanted to match like the general vibe of the furniture in the living room. And that's basically it. After a coat of lacquer, I put it in the living room and it sits there perfectly. Sorry if I wasn't able to explain a lot of the processes because I wasn't able to get a lot of good clips since I was not originally planning to post this. But I hope you appreciate my upload because it's been such a long time and I just wanted to share that I still have some projects from time to time. It's just that I don't document them and I'm busy with so much other things now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!